Good morning, I'm Yael Lavie, and we begin straight in France, where dramatic results of the regional elections surprised the country and the world last night. The voting public sent a strong message rejecting the anti-migrant and anti-Europe platform presented by the far-right National Front Party. And despite making impressive gains in the first round of voting last week and promising polls leading up to it, the party led by Marine Le Pen failed to win a single region in yesterday's vote. FN, whose popularity looked to be surging in the wake of last month's terror attacks in Paris and the backlash to the massive influx of the Middle Eastern migrants, fell short, with high voter turnout favoring Hollande's Socialist Party and the Conservatives, led by former French President Nicolas Sarkozy. Were the results a true reflection of France's views, or simply the outcome of smart political maneuvering by Le Pen's rivals? That is the question that remains. Let's go first to Paris, where we're joined live by I-24 News senior analyst Christian Millard. Mr. Millard, good morning to you. Results in overnight, quite a dramatic turnout. What does this spell right now? Has France essentially rejected the right-wing agenda of Marine Le Pen?
I would not say that, because when you listen to Marine Le Pen, former President Sarkozy, or Mr. Valls representing the French government, socialist government, you realize that everybody is satisfied one way or the other. Marine Le Pen has undergone a very humiliating defeat, definitely in the votes, but at the same time, she's very satisfied with the fact that the number of voters, of supporters of the far right grew up from 6.4 million in the last presidential elections 3 years ago, going to 6.8. So the number of voters or supporters have been growing up. Sarkozy is very happy in certain way, because if you go back to before we built up the new political landscape from 22 regions to 13, the socialists had 21 regions and the right only one. Now Sarkozy has got 7 out of the 13 regions, and he is very satisfied. It's a good success, especially getting Paris and suburbs, the famous region of Île-de-France. And at the same time, the socialists, being in very bad shape economically, politically, with the failure of the government, are satisfied to have got 5 regions. So this is the political landscape in France, and it's promising a big, big battle with the prospect of presidential elections in 16 months from now.
In 16 months, Mr. Millard, thank you very much. Let's take a look at Mandy Kogosowski's report when it comes to the basics and what exactly happened in those elections overnight.
France's extreme right National Front Party failed to win any regions in the country's local elections runoff yesterday. Just a week ago, in the first round, the party made a historical achievement by coming in first overall and winning 6 out of the 13 regions. Last night, leader Marine Le Pen still tried to focus on the party's gains.
In comparison to the previous municipal elections in 2010, we have moved up from 9% to 30% in the second round of voting. All this just 5 years later. Henceforth, the National Front will be the opposition party in most regional councils in France.
Following the first round, France's ruling Socialist Party withdrew its candidates from areas that are strongly backed by Le Pen, urging their own supporters to vote for the Republican Party, thus creating a political bloc that would keep the National Front out of power. The Republicans did succeed in coming in first, winning 7 regions, while the Socialists won the remaining.
There are victories that shame the winners. In the name of the Republic, they have sunk democracy tonight. They tried everything: slander, lies, vote catching, and many other things in the past 10 days. So don't listen to them.
Tonight, there is no place for relief, no triumphalism, no message of victory. The danger posed by the far right has not gone away. Far from it. I won't forget the result of the first round and of previous elections.
The National Front has been preying on fears of terror and immigration. While the current defeat might prove a setback for Marine Le Pen's 2017 general elections aspirations, many in France fear it might only be a matter of time before she becomes known as Madam President.
I'm joined in studio by former Israeli ambassador to France, Ambassador Avi Pazner. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Ambassador Pazner, I'm listening to Manuel Valls when he talks about Marine Le Pen. And he will not forget the first round of elections. But still, when we're looking at these results, does it really mean that France has turned a corner, and even though in spite of all these attacks over the course of the last several months, it is not turning to the right?
I think France is turning to the right. In the long run, it's turning to the right, but it must not be the far right, okay? Because what we have seen in this election, I think the biggest, if I can say, victory is for Sarkozy, who had no region at all before this election, got 7 out of 13, okay, was able to beat back Marine Le Pen in the 3 regions where everybody was convinced. In the north, in the south, in Alsace, everybody was convinced she will take them. Right. So I think that this is a sign France is moving to the right, but not to the far right.
Not to the far right, but wasn't this also, and I'm asking you, some form of a kind of a joint attempt by both the center-right and the left to back off Marine Le Pen?
Sure, of course, because Marine Le Pen constitutes a danger for France, I believe, for Europe. I'm not even speaking about her racist policies. I'm speaking about her economic policies. She wants to take France out of the euro. She wants to close France's border. I mean, she wants to take back France 100 years ago. She is a danger, and the French are worried of the danger. So this is the reason. In the first, I think you can look at it that way. The first turn was a lesson for the government. Careful, okay.
That never works in the Middle East, okay?
But here we are in Europe, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
In Europe it works,
they
okay?
Listen,
yeah. And now you see that afterwards, parties got together, they beat back this attempt. And I heard Christian Mallard, my friend, speaking about the election in 2017. I don't think that we are going to see Madame la Présidente Le Pen. I don't think so, no.
Why so?
I don't think so. Because she may have a good score in the first round, again, like she had now, and then in the second round, everybody will gang together, okay, and will beat her back, just like happened to their father in 2002 when Chirac he beat him, I think, 80% to 20%.
To 80%. I think time will tell. One last question: Is this the comeback of Sarkozy? Are we looking at Sarkozy leading France again?
I am not sure about that. You know, the polls in France are not very good for Sarkozy. If the most disliked politician in France today is Marine Le Pen, the second most disliked is Sarkozy, okay? And not that Hollande is doing great scores. I'm not sure it will be Sarkozy, but his party can do well in the presidential election.
Can do well in the presidential election. Ambassador Pazner, I want to thank you for joining us this morning
on
these dramatic results coming out of Paris overnight. As we move along.